Okay, we are live. Okay, call the meeting to order. And I just need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
right? Any discussion? All in favor? Everybody? Okay, so the only thing we have to do before we get up and take our tour is recognition of our new admin. So we'll start with,
Me?
yeah.
What would you like me to have? Front?
Just right up here to the podium would be fine.
Like I was just like, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right here.
Right there, Janelle, front center.
This is Mrs. Rowland.
Janelle Rowland, I'm the principal, I do this, want you all, nice to meet y'all. I guess you want me to tell you a little about myself?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a whole lot, just.
Okay, I am coming from Wichita Public Schools. This is my 27th year in education. I taught first grade through fifth grade in Wichita Public Schools. I was an instructional coach I was a teacher for the longest. So, taught for 13 years. And then I was an instructional coach for 6 years in, Boca Elementary. And then I became an AP, was an assistant principal for 2 years, and then a principal for 5 years. So this is my 6th year of being a principal. Jeez, Mr.
No, so it's.
No one to
Yes.
think about it.
So one of the reasons why I decided to come to a smaller district, I'm sure everybody's like, why would you leave that? We're almost done, right? I'm getting closer. My family and I moved out of South Wichita to Roseville. And I loved small town living. Like I had no idea it was so much fun. It is very nice. So I started thinking about, hey, I like living in a small town. Maybe I would like to work in a small town. And I saw Augusta was open, had a couple other interviews, but when I walked into Ewald, like I think I just knew, like it's just the staff there, they're just fantastic. They take care of their kids. It's a family. It feels really good. I'm super excited to help them grow in academics and help them grow with responding to student behaviors and social emotional learning. So I feel like I have a lot to offer to Ewell and I'm super excited.
Very good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes,
thank you.
you're very
Do you have any questions for me?
As your first week.
Oh my gosh, it's been like my shopping schools, they keep texting me and they're like, how's it going? It's like so much less stress. It's so nice. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Corey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, sir. Great.
I'm Lloyd Gabbard. I'm your new Augusta High School principal. So about me, this is also my 27th year in education. This is my first year as official principal without the assistant before it, but I've been a assistant principal for the last 13 years. So in a kind of wide variety of schools. I'm also coming from 259. I spent 2 years at Wichita South as what's called a looping grade level admin. So I started there off as a freshman principal. Then we moved to sophomore, so we follow our caseloads going up. For that, I spent a year at Southeast. We did alpha there, so I was the A through C principal at Southeast. And then before that, I was at Derby High School for 6 years, and we were non-looping grade level admin, so I spent 5 years as a freshman principal.
Yay.
Every year, freshman. So I had about 635, 640 on my caseload there as the grade freshman principal. And then spent my last year as a senior principal when a guy named Jeremy Swearingen, who's the principal of Mulvane High School, got his job, and Mr. Hamlin moved me up to seniors because I knew graduation and credit recovery. So for that, I spent about 4 years as the athletic director and assistant principal at Roseville Middle School, where we got to meet the Augusta District Athletic Director, guys you may not know, Doug Law. So I spent some time with him, the Pioneer League, the Patriot League, and before that, I was a teacher for 13 years, kind of all over. Spent the majority of my time in Goddard, about 11 years there, but I was at Andale and all the way to South, and I was at Base for Linwood, so kind of moved back and forth from Kansas City to Wichita. So I was a Spanish and a journalism teacher. So I was a foreign exchange student. So I speak Spanish and had a real good time doing that. So it's been a heck of a time. So good career. So glad to be here, really kind of getting to know staff and solving all the fires and all the problems that have been coming up over the next couple days. I'm ready for school to start. For school to start, got a lot of people coming in, so, but other than that, glad to be here. Thanks for having me and thanks for having me here. You guys have any questions for me?
Happy to have you.
All right.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Appreciate your time.
Good luck to both of you.
Yep.
We're very happy to have you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming in tonight. We know it's a busy week.
It's literally across.
Yeah. We do appreciate it though. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great evening.
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
So we are going to take a break. If anybody's listening to us out there, we're gonna take a break. We're taking a tour of some of the bond stuff, so we are gonna disappear from here for a little bit. So do we need to close it? Or just take a break, because we're officially still in meeting?
We're recessing
Okay,
and then we will reconvene. I will leave my stuff here so that it stays on.
are we muted?
We will be here in just
I have one left over when you come back this way.
Here's one.
No, she's got it.
I've got the one I had, didn't even start yet.
Was good? Okay, you're like, you can have a cold. We're right. Okay,
Thank you.
Oh, we're live?
Yep, we are.
Okay,
There.
and we're,
We can.
okay, we're back live, guys. Okay, so we are going to just reconvene. Okay.
sorry, Doc.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to have our prayer from Mr. Rosine from First Southern Baptist Church. Let's start that.
Thank you, Board of Education members, for allowing me to open up this evening with prayer, and you guys have already been busy traveling and touring. Before I ever talk to God, I'd like to have God talk to us, and so I want to read just a brief verse from James chapter 1, verse 5. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it'll be given to him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting. The one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. The person must not suppose that he'll receive anything from the Lord. He's a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Let's pray. Lord, when we come to meetings, Board of Education meetings that affect our school and our community, Lord, let us be humble and realize that we need wisdom. We need not to just know the right things, but we need to know how to act upon the right things. And so, Lord, we ask that you would bless things that are discussed tonight, presentations that are shown, any decisions that are made that affect not only us currently, but for future generations as well. We pray that you would protect the kids and teachers and administrators as they labor, especially in the coming days and weeks to start a new school year, that you would bless their work, and that we'd see the fruit of kids well equipped to be productive members of society in a city that would bring glory to you. We do pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I need a motion to accept the consent.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second,
Second.
okay, any discussion? All in favor? Everybody? All right. Old business, bond update. Welcome to the meeting. Nice to see you tonight.
Yeah,
Good to see you, everyone.
long time no see.
I'll keep the phase one fairly short. We just got done seeing that, but as you guys all saw, additions and remodels are complete. Obviously some small final punch list items that we're still working through. Over at Garfield, they did wrap up with the small playground, turf, and then they're getting ready to finish up the turf on the larger playground here later this week. We also have some irrigation repairs, and we'll get grass seeded once that irrigation is back up and running. A few small miscellaneous items will kind of continue into the semester at all three locations, primarily remaining light replacements. Nothing that will interfere with classrooms. We'll make sure everything's scheduled around kids and staff, so we're not intruding. Over at Lincoln, again, that playground is already completed. We do have sod down, so obviously I believe they're gonna try keeping kids off the sod for a little bit, just to help that kind of take and be a nice green space later this fall for them. A few small items, punch list items that we'll be working on here in the next couple of weeks. And then at the middle school, again, remodel and addition are complete. Small punch list items, they are still working on getting rooftop units and boilers that we replaced, getting the controls and test and balances all completed on those. Just really in the last phase of that. Again, a few small items that we'll keep working on the next couple of weeks. Another item over at the middle school, we walked through the weight room tentatively. Last I heard, equipment was still on schedule to show up this week. So
once that shows up, they'll get that set up real quick and that weight room will be usable. Phase 2 updates. So over at Ewalt Elementary, the concrete slab's been poured for the East Band Room addition. The north wall of the gym, that was demolished, has had temp wall back up in place. Water lines have been reworked outside the new stage addition. They did relocate the rock wall inside the gym, and structural steel is starting to show up, so we'll be able to get a building starting, pretty soon here to get that stood up. Over at the high school, a lot more work going on, but, they did get the electrical service completed inside and switched over. They have poured concrete slabs for additions on the south and north sides of the building currently. Water service there has been reworked, to allow for new building additions. And they did run a bunch of new main fire sprinkler lines down the hallways. They were doing that all summer. That'll kind of allow them to not be in those occupied spaces while we're doing some of the remodel areas. But still allow them to get those top, keep everything, KSFM approved. They did get the new temporary egress points established for all of the phase 1 construction out there. And they relocated the secretary and SRO offices, along with the temporary entrance in. Any questions on school updates before I touch briefly on bond summary? So we had a meeting last week. We just kind of went through where the bond was sitting. And Leslie Ann was able to get us some more information on bond premiums and bonded interest. Get my notes in front of me here. So right now, we went through bond, reviewed kind of where all the construction costs were coming in. That's all been signed up, obviously. And then as we get further into this, especially with the high school, there's a lot of FF&E costs, soft costs, all the furniture, fixtures, and equipment that the district is going to be providing. So talking through that, there was good news as far as what the bonded interest and bond premiums have come in. So that kind of helped bolster the actual bond dollars that you guys are able to use. So even though some of the FF&E costs were coming in high, there's still a lot of money in the bond that can be used to help cover those costs. And actually enough so that we did have a discussion as well about alternates. The high school, Ewald, and a small area at the middle school all had mechanical equipment that was kind of a wish list item, needing to be done more so at some than others. There was also alternates at Lincoln and Garfield that everyone kind of felt good about leaving those. It kind of helps put items on a rotation, but ultimately the alternates at the Augusta High School, that alternate, again, I guess I'll preface this, these numbers were bid out when the project itself bid out, so we are reaching out to subcontractors and suppliers right now, getting any updated costs, if unit costs have changed on any of these, but the high school alternate was to replace 23 RTUs and 1 additional makeup air unit. That cost was just over $1 million, $1,065,833. After, if we replaced all 23 of those, there's still 13 RTUs on the building that would be existing, but all of those are 2016 units or newer. So our understanding with Steve and the district was kind of that those are still in good shape. They're new. They still have a lot of life ahead of them. At Augusta Middle School, we did replace RTUs over there already. The one part of the alternate that wasn't taken was replacing the heating and cooling coils at AHU 3. That cost was $75,698. And then at Augusta Ewalt, there were 13 RTUs and 2 makeup air units, as well as structural supports required for those new units. And that cost came in at $806,141. At Ewalt, there was 1 makeup air unit and 1 rooftop unit that would remain. Again, newer units that were in good shape. So again, I touched on that, but these costs for the alternates were collected on bid day, so we're getting updated costs on that. It sounds like we should have them this week. If these costs are approved, we would only have unapproved alternate costs for Garfield and Lincoln. But again, this would get all the units on a better rotation. You'd have new units where you really need them. And then the Garfield and Lincoln, smaller projects, easier to bite off at a different time where maybe a bond wouldn't be required to do so. So again, ultimately, the conversations we had with where the actual bond dollars are, we are looking for the board's approval to proceed with these additional alternative cost scope of works. Based on district's direction after reviewing the updated bond budget, so.
So if they come in higher than this, you said something about waiting for more costs?
So we're getting updated costs if unit costs have increased for any of these rooftop units. So right now, I think you may have in front of you, but the bond summary. So actual bond cost compared to actual bond dollars, with the current alternates, we're roughly $825,955 under budget. So to the good. And typically, I mean, considering all of these bid out within the last year and a half, you don't really see huge increases. So we're hoping that's the case. But we'll update you guys once we
So
get those.
you want us to make a motion
Yes.
based on this price, and then if it's significantly different, we'll hear back.
Okay,
Go ahead.
that's what I was gonna ask, is who has the final authority to approve the amounts? Would that be as you guys, Simpson?
Would be us.
Well, I don't wanna wait till next month to bring it
Yeah.
back.
Right. I mean, if you guys can make a motion that as long as
As long as they're within reason.
within reason,
And that
we're
comes,
going to share all costs with you before we make any decisions.
I'll be talking
If you
about
guys
it
want to
at
make
the
that.
OAC
ultimate
meeting
decision
too.
Yeah, I
at
was
the
gonna
OAC
say, you
meeting.
guys can make the final
Yeah.
decision at that meeting.
So I would like to make a motion to approve the alternative list for AHS, AMS, and EWALT as presented, with the understanding that the bids may come in a little higher and will continue to be updated as part of that process.
Absolutely.
Okay. You have a second?
Second.
All right, any more discussion?
I have a quick question, just for understanding of looking at the replacement of the 23 at the high school.
Yes.
How many units did we have up there altogether?
39?
I don't know. I want to say it's in the 60 range.
65,
Yeah.
So,
with the new additions.
yeah, my thought was, if we're replacing 23 all at one time, they're gonna need to be replaced all at one time again, but there's a lot of others up there.
There's a whole,
too.
yeah, a bunch.
Okay,
Yep.
So we discussed that in OAC too.
thank you.
We talked about it
Yeah,
at
that's-
the meeting, Jim, and the big deal was that the coolant they use keeps changing. And so it's kind of hard for Steve to manage which one has which thing, so. And then Leslie Ann said I thought at the OAC, or at that meeting Friday.
Yes.
That you guys had said that was all of the high school units, but they came back today and said there's 16 left, or 13 left that are 2016 and newer.
Yes.
And my only question is that the same refrigerant we're going to be using now?
We can check on that.
I just think we should double check on that. But otherwise I'm on, it took me a minute to get on board. But we really talked through it and I do feel, I feel like this is the best decision, especially in, you know, our capital outlay is gonna be struggling for a while, so.
Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Everybody, can't see your hand, Daryl, are you yes? Sorry, okay. Okay, yes,
Now, do you need approval on this E-Wall intercom system too?
That's lower, that's.
It's coming on
yeah,
later.
we're not doing it yet, but
My
he
bad.
will.
But I thought, Doug, that we were gonna talk about, Leslie Ann's authority to approve.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
we
over
are.
too?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's not here too. I did find that, but I,
Oh, I didn't know, but-
Yeah, we are, yeah, it's on the back page,
Okay.
yeah, there's more.
Oh, wait, there's more.
That's right, and there's more,
oh, that's a separate item down here. My bad. I didn't turn it over.
Gotcha.
okay,
Anything else, construction updates, questions, comments?
thank you, and thank you for the tour,
Yeah, absolutely.
appreciate your time.
I just have to say that, and I've told the guys this, but Simpson Construction has been really great to work with, especially as a brand new superintendent coming into the role and into a new district. It's been a real pleasure to work with all of them. They're very responsive. They communicate well, answer questions, give a lesson to the new superintendent. I appreciate you and your team. Thank you.
I really appreciate working with all of you. Great district. We enjoy being here.
The
Thank
meeting
you.
Friday that included SD2, T2.
Yeah.
That's me too.
Very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remotely or not.
All of you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we need some
We need it
hand
all. We
holding,
need it all,
it's
yeah.
nice. It's nice, this isn't our job, so we appreciate you helping us get through it.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, we appreciate you all too. You've been a great district to work with.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay, Neil. You're up.
We have E-rate funds available and we need some additional switches and access points throughout the building with the construction. Plus the current switches, I have like 10 reports left on. So total purchase price is $78,550. Our part of that is only $23,565 because of the E-rate discount. Just need approval to proceed with that purchase.
Okay, this is for the high school,
That's for the whole district.
District.
everything, okay. All right, so you need approval for just our share, really, the 23,565. Somebody wanna make a motion?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
So I move that we approve the technology E-rate purchase proposal as presented.
okay, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Everybody? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's a nice deal that they pay 70% of that.
Just last year.
Wonderful. Okay, sorry, getting practice field lights request.
All right, well, thank you guys for hearing me out on this. With, I guess the expansion and everything that's been happening with our bond and everything, some of the things with buildings and grounds have kind of gotten eaten up over the last couple of years, which rightfully so, we've got a lot going on. This is just wanting to add lights to the existing tennis court poles that would face out east to our practice field. And this has kind of been an ongoing talk for a few years now. And I think whenever, waiting on the baseball field, we were hoping we were gonna get the whole field turfed. But with the budget, understood that that wasn't a possibility. Had we been able to, the outfield would have been a practice area for football, soccer, little league. But with that not being possible at this point, the lights would add more time to get those practices in. Next week, we're looking at, football's already moving their practices to 6 o'clock start. So more than likely, they'll be on the turf, but if we have multiple teams having to do that, then we run into the issue of not having, lights. The great thing about this is youth football, who shares our facility, has offered to pay for it. So it'd be at zero cost to the district. I talked with Matt Pascal at Alternative Electric. He said it's not a problem. He gave me kind of the general quote of 5,000 to 7,000. I said, is this for everything? He said, yes. I said, okay, so I think, if we can proceed with this, I will then of course get an actual quote, and we'll walk through and see what we need to do. He made it seem like it'd be a piece of cake to add these lights, LED lights on the backside of those poles. But we would iron out all the other, where the switches would be, so on and so forth. Everybody is under the understanding that this, they understand this is something that could change with the bond. With some things not, being settled on location. And also time. They understand that it may not happen for this fall. So, but, that's pretty much it. And it's, something that I think with our growing, again, our facilities growing, we've improved a lot of practice space. This would be an improved outdoor space for our teams. So.
I appreciate them offering to pay for it too. Well,
I'm in favor of the project. We have talked about it for years. I would kind of like Steve Powers, a representative from the high school administration, and maybe even myself as a building and grounds committee member, to give some kind of final approval to what they come up with, to be sure that.
Yeah.
And
And
we haven't really seen a proposal.
correct, and that's what I told, Matt Pascal. I said I would like to get out there and meet with Mr. Terry, Steve. I can't remember if I mentioned you or not, but of course, always invited. That way we could talk about what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna be put together. That way it's not just something that.
I don't think he'll just throw something up,
No.
but I still would like to see the proposal before we move forward.
And the change you're talking about is the tennis court location, so that's a little tiny bit up in the air.
Yes.
And so they understand.
Tiny bit at best.
Right.
Yeah,
I had a conversation, with youth football the other day and just kind of said,
Okay.
this,
I just didn't wanna like,
no.
like.
Throw it on
It
every-
feels like a moving
Correct.
target still, so until it's like
this-
locked down.
This is just something we just wanna, kind of have it to where, and then if we have to pivot, we'll pivot.
yeah,
And I appreciate them partnering with us a
Yeah,
lot.
me
so,
too.
So.
Yeah.
I'd say get started on it.
So we just give them like
Bids.
conceptual approval.
I think so. Give them approval to go ahead and get it started. Doug can be part of the process and let us know how it's going. You wanna make a motion?
I think I did. Did I make a motion? Did I
Not
say that
yet.
as a motion?
Mm-mm, you didn't say anything yet.
You'd be willing.
Okay. Well, I believe that I will make a motion to approve the concept of the proposal, and that a committee of the high school administration, Steve Powers and myself, look at the final proposal for approval before it moves forward.
Okay,
And we make sure we know where the tennis courts are going.
That's a great idea where they're going.
I know.
who
you
said second? Daryl, okay.
Yes, obviously, we'll make sure that
Okay.
all bond things are taken care of
Okay.
first,
Perfect.
we'll go from there.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Everybody? Thank you.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
Just make sure you don't leave Doug out of it.
Well, never do.
Okay,
See you guys.
thank
See ya.
you very much. Okay, moving right along. You're up, Dale.
The 100-page budget document, I'll go through the memo. The budget notice to hearing, which is second and third pages, and then. We can talk about our cash balance, it's a little bit, which is fourth page. So the proposed, budget is summarized in the notice to hearing code 99. So what it has the preceding 2 years expenditures. And then it has this year's budgeted expenditures. Budgeted expenditures are normally inflated by 1 to 2%, so that we can capitalize on all of our funding, whether that be the LOB or capital outlay, etc. So our in-person enrollment is continuing to decline. Melanie has the notice of budget hearing up there. The two first funds are the operating funds, and the second fund you see supplemental general fund. So there's no additional weighting for virtual students in the supplemental general fund. So as you see actual expenditures dropping down there, that's what indicates your in-person enrollment is declining, or there's a funding problem, or maybe both. So then you look above that and look at the general fund. The general fund authority has gone up. Why is that? It's because we were establishing a virtual program within the last 2 years. So looking at that, looks like that looks good. We're getting a lot more authority. Keep in mind that the virtual program is driving that. Open Ed is driving that. So their estimated enrollment, 635 right now. Last year it was around 170. So that's 400 and some kids coming in, and 75% of that $5,600 weighting goes to Open Ed for providing those services. And then we committed another 290,000 due to our special ed increase that we received last year. So a lot of the funds are already committed. Again, this is an inflated number. It also is not a finalized number. They need to continue to enroll these students. There are a lot that are through the initial process and not through. Audrey's program is performing well, the 9 through 12 program. We had around 20 last year. We're already at 50. So that's
Wow.
a significant increase there. So that's
great.
very impressive. So going down the line here, federal funds remain pretty flat year over year. The high amount in the second preceding years when we had ESSER funds. And then you can look at pre-K looks pretty flat. At risk is pretty flat from an authority perspective, so is bilingual. Then you see that big jump in virtual like we just discussed, a $15,000 program up to $1 million last year, and then potentially a $3.2 million program for this year. So again, a lot of expense coming with that, 75% of the weighting going to Open Ed. Big special ed assessment increases coming with that. Next year, we can at least expect a $250,000 special assessment hike without the interlocal even increasing it, because all of those extra students and how the factor works. So our special ed assessment will climb next year. That's guaranteed. So,
Just from having the extra kids?
yeah, because it's factored in person enrollment, then the high-low factor, and then virtual students, because they could potentially have to service those students. There are different ways that some interlocals do it, but that's pretty consistent. And right now, we are getting a pretty decent deal on that. I think we pay 12% of the assessment, get 13% of the service. So that was the last graph I saw on that. So, and then capital outlay. So we had a climb year over year from 1.4 to 2.8. 1.4 was a very low year 2 years ago. We were kind of trying to figure out what was going to happen, if we were going to pass the bond or not. And then we kind of jumped it up a little this year. So the 5.8 is budgeting cash so that we have authority to spend funds. The last expenditure item is just a plug, just in case we need the funds. So if you have, I think you guys have heard this, Matt used to say it, I've said it multiple times. if we don't have the authority to spend the money, we can't spend it. So right now, more than ever, we're thinking as a board or as a district, what do we want to commit in there? And it's getting a little tighter, but we took the smart boards out of there last year. And there's some other maybe personal property items that we might consider taking out of capital outlay versus out of bond proceeds, if it makes sense. So in driver's ed, it's also budgeting cash there. So again, 5.8, do we expect to spend that? No, we expect to be pretty consistent year over year. We're just budgeting the authority in case we need to spend the money. Food service was flat. And then PD came down quite a bit. And then special ed, you can see a decent increase there. That has to do with that large assessment increase that we received, which is mainly driven from the increase from the virtual program. And then career tech ed is pretty flat, but also inflated slightly. And then, yeah, as we go out, the special reserve fund is where you'll see, it's not a budgeted fund. So when you're looking at the budgeted column, if you don't see an amount associated with a row, it's not a budgeted fund. So the special reserve fund is where, now that we are partially self-funded, we will collect premiums out of our regular funds through the payroll process. And then those funds will go into the special reserve fund and wait until claims need to be paid or other expenditures associated with our healthcare plan. So that will pop up. Textbooks pretty flat, activity fund flat. You see a big hike down on column, well, bond and interest 1, code 62. So we went from 5 million to 6.5 to 8. So the 5 million is just the pre-15 bond. Last year, 6.5 includes one payment from the new bond and the payments from the existing bond, and now we're paying on 2 bonds. So that's bringing that up quite a bit. So if we go to the next page. So then the last thing you have is the rec authority. They're staying at 2 mils. They did not come back to the board to increase their authority, so we left that flat. And then you have your outstanding indebtedness below there. Above that is the assessed valuation of the funds. And those are listed, get those from the county on by June 15th. And then below that is the R&R notice that we discussed last month, and it has not changed. Same mill levy, same dollar amounts. It's just a slight decrease from last year. So then the cash summary. So we're looking at how we're trending from a cash perspective. General fund always has to be spent to 0, so it will always be 0. Federal funds will we should normally be in the negative because we request those funds in arrears. So it's very normal to have a negative balance in your federal funds. The supplemental general, it can fluctuate a little bit. 200,000 is not a huge amount there. Remember, the supplemental general is funded through state aid and local taxes. And the local taxes piece also includes our current cash balance when the fund is calculated for the fiscal year. The at-risk fund is declining. That is the planned deficit in the fund. That was when we started to tier in ESSER items, and we discussed that in committees. So that will go down to 40,000 at the end of the year, and then to 0 after that. And you can see a decline of $1 million in capital outlay, 70,000 in food service, a pretty good decline in PD and special ed. And then at the bottom there, and the bond came down about 300,000. The textbooks and the student materials are down 350,000. So overall, we're down over $2 million. So the bond fund will go down by over 2 million. It will run at about a $2 million deficit. This year, projected revenues around 6 million. And as we saw on the first page, expenditures are known and they are over 8 million. So that balance will come down. So that's just kind of a summary of kind of how the budget is put together. Some of the things we're facing, how our cash is trending. What questions do you guys have?
Thank you for making that bigger. Okay, so you need permission to publish what you just showed us.
The second and third page, the notice of hearing, which then the board will schedule in that motion. And then I will publish it with the R&R notice that was presented last month.
Okay,
And this is not finalizing anything, it's just allowing.
Permission to publish it.
So that we can move on and be in
Right.
compliance with state statute. So that's all this is doing right now.
so you need from us right now just a motion to publish that.
Yep.
Okay,
And to schedule the.
and to schedule the budget hearing, right? So we need a motion to publish that budget,
So moved.
okay? Anybody want a second?
A second.
Amy, okay, any discussion?
The only thing I would say is I would definitely prefer to be posting, or to be publishing a budget that kept the capital outlay mill where it is at, or at the least somewhere in between, rather than raising it up all the way to 8, just because we can, doesn't always mean we should.
And that adjustment could still be made, is that
It
correct?
can be, I'm just saying I would rather publish it without, so that's just my only comment.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of publishing the budget? Angie, you know, okay, I'm sorry, you're opposed. Okay, so 6-1, Angie opposed. Okay, thank you.
They've got to set the hearing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not yet. Sorry. Okay,
Kind of did that all at once.
huh?
Instead of motion.
We're talking about,
6:25. Yeah,
oh, there it is.
yeah, the motion.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, so you just did all of it in one motion?
Yeah.
Well,
You did, okay, okay, Doug, you did so moved.
I'm so moved.
Okay, so Doug, you so moved that we scheduled that budget hearing. Okay, perfect. Okay, did you want to talk about something else?
And I do,
Okay, hold on.
I'm kind of, not kind of, I am on the same page with Angie in that we had talked about an incremental increase to the capital outlay rather than doing it all at once. So I'm also on board of looking at that.
Well, we have the meeting. Obviously.
That's what we're just getting ready to talk about right now. Okay, would you like to
So
say
there
something?
was, a couple of Friday notes in a row, Dale and I spoke about being able to have a budget retreat, as Daryl had mentioned last time, and everybody agreed to have, and so we are available from 5 to 7 on August 24th, September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd, or September 4th. Is there a date that we can all come together from 5 to 7 that works best?
I will say I am not going to be here after the 24th. My nephew is having open heart surgery at Duke University on the 3rd, so we're leaving on the 1st. So I will be gone. But I mean, I do not have to be here on the 24th, but that is the only day that I can do it. If
Is
that,
it 24th of
Yes.
September?
no, of August.
August, my bad.
That's the only day I will be here of all of those days. But like I said, I do not have to be here for the meeting to happen, so.
So, and I would really like to be here, and I feel as if my grandbaby's gonna come before that, but she went late last.
Thank you for putting that on the
Yes,
best.
to be liked, right? No, I guess you do.
Aye.
Something to like, yeah.
So the first, second, third, or fourth, what do you guys think?
I can't do it the fourth,
Okay,
so
so
you as a home football.
first, oh, yeah,
Yeah, well, I did.
KU football, huh? Is that a thing now?
It is.
First, second, third, where what we're down to now, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
The third's not great for me.
All right, first and second. Can everybody come to one of those? How about the first? Is everybody available on the first?
I am.
Yes, Daryl, Brent, all right, let's do it on the first. What time?
5 to 7.
5 to 7 on the first.
And that is a budget meeting, right?
Budget
Yes,
retreat. Okay.
budget retreat,
September.
5 to 7.
5 to 7, correct.
It's a lot of numbers, a lot of time for numbers.
Be ready, because you're gonna get them. I hate that I'm gonna miss that meeting. Okay, thank you very much, Dale.
Tuesday the first.
Tuesday, the first, 5 to 7. Okay. So we are moving on from this, right? Okay, Janet, you're already ready to go.
Yeah, we're just gonna highlight things, cause I know
Okay.
it's already been a long night for you guys, so,
Thank you.
curriculum. I just linked in here the PD, some of the high points that they have been going over with the staff, so the whole district behavior. Overview, as well as our behavior matrix. Each of the buildings also went over CHAMP, so that's one of those strategies to have clarity in how we use our time in the classroom, so that's happening. We do have a revised quick reference sheet, so if you have time, take a look at that because it aligns with what we look for in the walkthrough tool. It also aligns with the PD that they have, so we're just really, that coherence is really building. Instead of all kinds of different things everywhere, we're honing in on a few.
How was
things.
the first PD?
Got really good feedback from all of the different groups. I'm still looking through any other feedback, but they really liked the short 1.5 hour or less times. We call it kind of the make it and take it, so they get some information, something they can implement right away, and then ongoing things that we're gonna look for as they practice what they learned until the next time we have PD, where they get to share out. So definitely more manageable and just a few things really well. So in fact, got good feedback from the high school. They really liked the Green Bush. Rest of the teachers loved what the principals put together talking about behavior. So CTE, just making you guys aware that it was communicated through K-Board, so that's the Kansas Board of Regents, that they did not support the WSU Tech, so it's a hybrid class, the phlebotomy EKG. So it's all online except for the lab time that was at the high school, and that's what we put in place last spring. There must have been some requests that they not be in the Butler area for those classes, because they felt like it was more in person than completely virtual, and so they've been asked to step back. So we will visit with them or with Butler to see if they can provide something comparable. And we'll look at that for the spring. We only had a couple students enrolled in the class. There were other classes they could take, so we'll still look at making sure they have enough in the
Well, I
spring.
would think if they don't wanna have them, somebody else to have them, they ought to offer them.
So
And so because they didn't like it, that means we absolutely can't do it.
I don't know all I'm aware is it was communicated somehow to K-Board that WSU Tech was doing, and this is just the phlebotomy EKG, where we didn't get permission through Butler on that one because we were understanding we didn't need to because it was a hybrid class, an online class. We're still good to go for the manufacturing, automation, all of that. But since that one, again, WSU Tech got the notice from K-Board that they aren't allowed to do that in Butler County, and so they let us know. We only had 2 students enrolled for the semester. They were able to find another class, and we're meeting with Butler. So we were already planning on moving that out. They just didn't have anything ready for us yet, so we were at least offering a class for the kids until they eventually could get some things in place.
Yeah.
So,
So it would be really good for students to be able to get that at the.
Yes, it would.
so I just wanted you guys to know that was a surprise we got hit with in the last couple weeks, and so we're pivoting. Other key points, other MTSS, I just gave you guys links so you can see a lot of those things regarding the champs, the checklist, the teachers are looking at. Just a lot of other resources that we pushed out during our new teacher orientation. We have several new special ed staff, but the two key people that are district-wide is, Krista Smith, and she actually I got to watch her present to all of our paras. So this afternoon, all paras, whether they're building paras or special ed, got some training this afternoon. And we're gonna do a lot more of that to really help make that connection. So paras really understand what their role is, how, if they have questions, how do they support the good things going on in the classrooms with the teachers. So we revisited some things about champs and a few other things just to see kind of where they were at, as they were in the PD all day today, but we wanted to pull them aside at the end to see kind of what soaked in and what we need to provide them more help on. So you're gonna see our PD this year that we really are trying to model in our PD, what we would want teachers to do in the classroom with their students, right? You do a big teaching for everybody, but if you have a group that you're like, man, this may be new, or they may not be sure if they really got it, that we pull them off the side and do some different PD. So you're gonna see a lot of that this year. Lisa Art is returning to us. So she was our special education assistant director that oversaw our area. Then Denise Walton came in last 4 years. She moved on to a different position, so we have to back again. And she was here all day as well. So a big shout out to both of them. They were here in the district, in the PDs all day long, seeing what our teachers were learning and supporting us in what we're doing. Capturing Kids' Hearts, their social contract, we had a quick reference sheet so all teachers can see that. CTE, we met, but I still need to just double check to make sure that bid, we know what we want, the bid specs. High school principal, Mr. Cody Hager and myself all met, so we know what we want in it. I just need to make sure it's wordsmithed right to submit, and then we'll get that submitted out this week. Avid, again, also has a social contract, so then there's the link to theirs, which is very similar. I am gonna meet with send this out to the principals just to check to make sure that these district site council times will work. So I'll get back with you guys just so you know exactly when they are, but these are tentative. I need to make sure there's not any big conflicts with events at the schools that they don't feel like they could slip away from to do this. PD, we already talked about that. Orientation, great group again here. We had great mentors. The principals, they rocked it. They came in and helped present with the new teachers, and there's nothing better than for those new teachers to see the principals providing PD to them and just building that relationship. Great group. That went very well. It was a busy, full-packed week. Big shout out to our banks. The banks came in, provided breakfast or lunch. Go Augusta came in and provided things. Our AEA came in and shared some things with our teachers. So they just got loved on a lot, all Monday through Thursday. And really the last piece is just what our PD focus is for the year. And then again, I re-reference that quick reference sheet, and I have copies here if anybody wants a printout of those here at the end. Questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sounds like we're off to a good start. I've heard nothing but good about the new principals. Yeah. Okay, negotiated agreements. You're up.
The negotiated agreements, the contract was ratified on July 2nd with 81% of 80 votes agreeing with the negotiated contract for the 2026-2027 school year. So I'll be asking for that negotiated agreement to be approved. This is linked as the working copy, so I will ask for that to be approved. I will also be asking for the salary recommendation for certified staff. In this memo, there is, the certified staff has step and column movement. And also with this action, approval is requested for all USD 402 staff stipends, $2,000 for each full-time employee, $1,000 for each part-time employee. This will exclude Rule 10 employees. And again, this is for all USD 402 staff.
We need a
I used to
motion.
throw a wrench in it,
Oh, no, you don't.
define the Rule 10 employee.
Only those individuals that are not
Teachers,
teachers employed by us.
if they're only Rule 10, like that, they only coach or whatever, they don't teach also,
So if a supplemental contract is the only contract they have,
they don't get one.
Yes,
I would rather have it say that,
okay.
because if I decided I wanted to coach again and quit the board, I have a certificate, so I wouldn't be a
Hire
Rule
you
10 coach.
again.
Anybody with a teaching certificate is not a Rule 10 coach.
True.
So I think we want to exclude, supplemental employee, those that hold only
Only
supplemental.
supplemental contracts. I think that makes it clearer.
We've used that Rule 10 kind of as a blanket thing.
Yep.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody else okay with that?
And then,
That only have.
and then what Janet just said, it is just for returning employees, it's not for new employees.
Correct.
The second.
Oh.
Correct.
Correct. That's
I'm sorry, say that again.
that's what I heard from
It is,
the teachers union.
No, go ahead.
it was for everybody.
It is for everybody.
It is for everybody, not returning.
No, it is for
If
everybody.
you're-
We changed it from a
Oh,
retention
we
Yeah.
did.
to a everybody.
Yeah,
And that is correct.
yes.
So everybody gets it,
That's
not a
correct.
retention.
I
I
thought we just said the other
thought we
way.
did too.
We got rid of the retention and gave it to everybody.
Yeah, I remember that now, though. I do remember that.
Guess we should look at the notes and be
I
sure.
remember that.
You did look?
Yeah.
Okay,
I remember.
that's the way I remember it.
Okay, so,
Because AEA asked about that.
yeah,
Yes.
Specifically.
so we are, first of all, let's do the negotiated agreement. We need a motion to approve the negotiated agreement. Cause that does not, that's not this.
I kind of helped negotiate it, so somebody else should probably make the motion.
Anybody, it doesn't matter.
Approved the negotiated agreement.
Okay, in a second,
A second.
okay? Any more discussion on that part?
I just want to thank the board members. You guys put a lot of time into that, into this whole process.
Thank you very much.
A lot.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of that part? Everybody? Okay, and then we need a motion to approve the certified staff salary recommendations, including the stipends. As amended,
So, yes.
yes, okay,
So I will go ahead and make the motion that we approve the staff stipends proposal as presented.
and what about the certified staff? Or the,
Well, that's part of the,
Certified, okay.
that's 1 and 2 are both presented.
okay,
But
all
I'm
of
gonna
that
say as amended.
as amended,
Is that
yeah,
what we, want? As amended? Okay.
yes,
Well, this is the first time. Okay, you're right. That'd be fine.
yeah, okay. We need a second?
Second.
Okay. That was Daryl. Any more discussion? All in favor? Everybody? Okay. Perfect. All right, now we're on to the bond project approvals.
The first one is the INA alert, EWOL intercom system. This one is, I had some questions regarding, is this similar, does this align with what we've done at the other buildings? Yes, it is. Does it need continual software updates? No, it does not.
Yes,
Sorry, does it,
if you look down, it has the
but not in over?
extended.
It has the what?
Like the last three items there, but the second red line. That's for a yearly agreement. If we do a 5-year agreement, we save about $3,000.
Okay.
We're doing year to year.
If we do, say that again.
So if we do year to year, you know, just 1 year at a time,
Right.
we end up spending $3,000 more than if we would do a 5-year agreement.
And once we install it, we aren't gonna change it, so we might as well go
Yeah,
with the 5 years.
Right, but then there's additional cost 5 years from now.
Right. If we want to continue with software.
we would keep paying that software amount.
That's gonna be any
What are
system.
your thoughts?
Any system. Yeah, that's gonna be on anything.
What are your thoughts, Ms.
I
Superintendent?
think that's what any, system. I think that this,
Just to give you an idea, I've done other quotes for other systems. This is the least expensive. The other two systems that I quoted out were both $150,000 or more.
Oh.
I mean, this is the same system we have at Carfield and Lincoln currently.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to go for some consistency throughout
Yeah,
the district.
Correct.
And so,
yeah,
you know, we have this particular system at Garfield Lincoln.
make it
Then
district
I
wide.
really feel like it should be at Ewald as well. I
Well,
like
it's
that there's a
helpful.
Greenbush contract 15% discount.
yeah.
I like that a lot
And it
and
is the system we're putting in at the high school.
Yeah.
Well, and it's helpful for all the staff to know what it is too, if they use it, if they're, you know, back and forth to different buildings too. It's the same thing.
Is that what we have at the middle school too?
No. I wish.
Yeah, the
But
middle
that
school has
simplex
been a
unit blew
mess.
up and had to be
Yeah,
replaced.
you didn't have a choice with that
Didn't
one.
have a choice.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve this purchase as presented.
And that includes the 5
That, this price only has the 1 year, but if we can do the 5-year after that year expires. Because we will want to continue doing software updates, but if we want to record it, I can get the 5 years for it.
So we want to go with the way it's presented right now. So move.
Okay, we have a second?
1 second.
Okay, any more discussion, or questions? All in favor? Yes, Daryl, okay. Okay, thank you.
the next item is, submitted under bond project approvals is for the furniture quote. For Scott Rice. This is for, Augusta Middle School. This is for their office spaces and their collaboration spaces. And as you can see at the, just if there's any question, you can see at the top, the date is 6/29/26. And during the OAC meeting, I did, just kind of owned this one, that it, it was my understanding that because it was part of the bond scope, this is just lack of knowledge and lack of experience. Figured it would just be part of it, and, until I said, hey, Dale, go ahead and order this, and he's like, it needs board approval, so, I knew that, because I didn't know, it's over 20,000, I get that, but, so I learned a little bit there, so Jessica Carey is just been great in terms of adjusting and being flexible and figuring out, but I'd like to be able to get this approved so we can get the new furniture in.
So what we saw tonight isn't
Absolutely not.
what we have, even like that front office, the cabinets and stuff?
That is.
Okay, that is.
That is,
Okay.
yes, that's a great question. And
Okay.
yes, that is.
Okay.
But if you would have gone, if you did go into her office, that is the old furniture. And
Okay.
so we want to be able to get the new
What is that number? 38?
38,000.
Yeah.
872.
And about how long is it gonna take once we approve it?
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
all right, any more discussion? All in favor? Everybody? Now let's talk about why we have to approve this.
Like I said, when Jordan was presenting, again, and Doug and Angie were in the OAC meeting when I was talking about this. And, when speaking with Brooks and Jordan, to keep things moving along, especially with the big project of the high school, one way for us to not have to come with every single soft cost item, furniture, the intercom, those types of things to come for board approval every single time. So that we're not waiting a month to approve, we're having to call many special meetings. I am asking for authority, I'm requesting authority for you to allow me as the superintendent to execute purchase order agreements and subcontract agreements within the bond budget. And I would be keeping you informed of these items through the OAC and through Friday notes. So nothing should come as a surprise. But I would like.
So Doug and Angie would be made aware of all of these purchases anyway. I just have a question. Have we literally approved every single thing that they have spent on the bond so far? I mean, because I don't recall spending that much money in here. So
I
what
think
determines what?
most of it,
So
the Simpson stuff, like they bid it all out to start with, and so. And, you
It
know.
was in the
got-
first
got the
project.
And then they brought in all the subcontractors, and so then, yeah, we approved that big thing. And listen, you're just asking for FF, for
Yes,
soft
cost.
soft costs, yeah.
Soft cost.
So we approved all.
And the reason FF&E wasn't in there, is that it could have been charged to capital outlay or to the bond. So it wasn't locked into the bond. It's to give us flexibility on what funds we want to take it out of.
Okay. So nothing's gonna be done without you guys seeing it
And
anyway.
then it'll be in Friday notes
And
for all.
then Friday notes for all of us to see.
And I would say, like, it is just a holdup, like, especially.
Well, yeah,
Especially for these meetings where it's like it's every 2 weeks instead of every week,
well,
so.
this is gonna
like,
take 4 to
yeah.
6 weeks and we could have done this.
I know.
I mean, it's not saying,
Oh, I know.
I'm not
But it-
saying
it-
because of you,
it
but I
was
mean,
not-
just even waiting
It
for
was
us.
not Leslie Ann's
No,
fault, it
no.
was just,
So do
Yeah.
you have a written, do you have a written,
she took the blame, but it was not. her
I feel
fault.
the same
you
way.
happen to have a written, did you write down
Formal,
a formal,
sure did.
Motion, let me see it.
have it?
Would you like to read that?
Yes, it was at the bottom to execute.
Oh, she gets right down here. Give her permission to execute purchase.
So I make a motion that we permit the superintendent Kraft to execute purchases and subcontract agreements and order agreements that are within the scope of the bond budget,
For soft cost items.
soft cost items.
Okay, we need a second.
A second.
Okay, any more discussion? Everybody.
Is there a limit to the amount that you can approve?
Not at this time, it's whatever, this motion doesn't have a limit.
And they would
So-
stop her if they thought it's, yeah.
I think she would
I
stop herself.
think the reason she said it though, is because the middle school really wasn't that much furniture, and it came in at 40-some thousand. So when we go to do furniture
high
at the high school, it's gonna be high.
Yeah.
And then it ended up, and it's frustrating, I'm sure it's more frustrating for, our staff, but it's frustrating even as a board member being in those meetings, because we're talking about it, but then so-and-so can't get out till here, and then you don't have, I mean, it's just.
We just don't want us to be the reason that it's being put on hold
Delayed.
even further.
And I
Exactly.
told her, I'm fine with if we have to call a special board meeting, but it would, you know.
It'd be
it's-
nice if we didn't have
it's
to,
just
yeah,
Well, if for some reason you saw something that didn't look right, then we can
yeah,
deal with it at that.
definitely.
And I
Well,
do appreciate Leslie, if she wants to make sure it looks good and matches. I mean,
I do.
nothing against Matt, but she has a woman's touch on making sure things match.
We do need nice.
I like
things.
it.
Jim, does that answer your
Yes,
question?
that does.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that at all. And the other question I have is that once the bond work is done, then will it go back?
That's only for the bond.
Only for the project.
That's part of the motion.
Only for the project.
Only for the scope. Yeah, read that again.
Go for the project.
Within the scope of the bond project for soft cost items.
Yeah, so it's very limited.
Thank you.
So any alternates still have to come to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? everybody. Okay,
Thank you all.
yes, that will be much easier.
Brooks will be super excited.
Oh, he'll be delighted. I
Mhm.
hope he's watching tonight.
Okay, this is you're up.
That's it, I'm it.
You're up. We got through this.
All right, so the next item is for the superintendent advisory committees. And so I am asking if you would look at where do you have that in front of you? What's the committees okay, so here's the committees that you're already on.
Mhm.
I am asking if you want to remain. So let's start with negotiations, please. Negotiations currently has, well,
Carrie.
there it is. Doug Law, Carrie Lee, and Angie Johnston as an alternate.
Yeah.
Are you continuing on that?
I would like to still be
I would like it.
Okay,
But
Moving
if someone
on.
else wants to, I mean, that is,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
I mean,
speak
that's
up.
an option that I would not be offended.
if you don't want to be an alternate anymore.
No, if someone else wants to be on that committee, like wants an opportunity to be on that committee or see how it works, I would not be offended by that, and, you know, we could discuss it for sure.
Anybody take any
Okay.
takers? Okay. All right, the next one is this actually, we're going from site councils. So in the past, AHS was Daryl and Doug, AMS was Jim, Carrie, you were at AMS, anyway.
We've gone to
So
district.
now we've gone to district, and so, do I have three of you that would be wanting to attend the district site councils? Cause
I'm trying to figure out where you're at exactly.
She's got,
Oh,
it's not on here.
because when I clicked on here, it's different.
Yeah, it is different on there because my
Oh,
screen says
what I
link
clicked on.
reference, but.
Okay,
Right, I linked it for the board. Just a
okay,
second.
my bad.
Here, I've got it right here.
Well, that's what I was looking at, I
Here.
think.
Can you see it?
Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, which is different. than
Yeah, it's different
what's
than
up there.
that, but she's reading it off this. Okay,
Amy, you
What is the next district? I saw it on the, I remember seeing.
Yes, I will send out a calendar invite. I just want to make sure there's no conflict with the principal and activities they already scheduled in their school that I'm not aware of. But the first one, I believe I have being September 21st. So it's on my,
I remember seeing it somewhere, I just couldn't.
and they're.
it'll be on Mondays,
And they're
once
quarterly.
a quarter.
I would,
Jim
I can do that
and
too.
Brent.
anybody else want to do it?
What are we doing now?
You know,
This
that's-
is
we-
just
and-
the site.
And you have your name.
We can have three.
Oh.
Oh, Amy, oh, okay, so we have three.
I already have three. I have
Okay,
Amy,
perfect.
Jim,
We have
and Brent.
three.
Excellent.
Okay,
Moving along, it's not in this order maybe, but budget planning committee. The budget committee is Jim Brown, Amy Walls, Angie Johnston.
Could I possibly move to this school in Susan's place?
Well, that's from my.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's why we did,
So-
one,
Who's on the,
fiscal is Daryl, Brent,
Oh,
Doug.
fine.
Brent's on there right
And you
now.
guys had talked about not wanting two different meetings, right? That's part of why.
Yeah, I would like it to be one,
Okay,
I would prefer it to be one.
what about all the other people that are on those in those meetings?
okay.
Like other than board members, is that gonna be a problem for all of them?
So last year, they evidently weren't invited,
We
which
didn't
was
even, did we even meet?
frustrating. We did one time.
I didn't remember meeting even.
Yeah, we did one time, and it was, for me, the whole process was frustrating, so I would propose tabling that. And maybe Leslie Ann, think about how you even want to do
Okay.
How to
that,
be
and
restructured.
then we could talk about it at the budget
I
retreat.
like that.
Yep.
And however you would like to see it structured, we could maybe, I mean, that would just be my thought, but.
Okay, and I won't be here for that meeting, but I'm okay with whatever you guys work out.
It was pretty much the same meeting. He just would have one on a Wednesday and then the next one the day after on a Thursday.
Just so we
So
didn't have to have
between
a
the
board.
principals, myself, he just split us all up. But we got to hear the same thing, but that way it wasn't a board.
But it was
meeting, because they
all of
split
the
us up.
principals and everything were supposed to be at one meeting or the
One
other.
board meeting.
So this would require everybody to be at the same meeting at the same
Cause
time.
if we couldn't make one of them, we just.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I just mean, is it okay with me? Cause it was during the day, right?
Or
It was like
4 o'clock. So they'd have to just come after school. That's fine.
It would become a public meeting, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be
I feel
private.
like.
No, it's not
I want to
broadcast.
have a work session.
But as an
Yeah.
advisory committee, I think that in that, what they changed about it
Yes.
was that instead of it being an additional committee
It's an advisor.
where you would have had to have had a board, we'd have had to have an open meeting. With it being the advisory committees under the
And it would just be a
superintendent, it's just a meeting,
work
a
session.
work session.
Yeah,
And
the
then
advisory
public.
committees
Right.
would basically go away and it would be a work session for a budget work session.
Again, there's things to consider, I guess, both ways, so I just think, listen, you should
Yeah.
decide, or you should think about it, and then we could discuss it with your recommendation.
Okay, so we're gonna table 3 and 4 tonight,
Okay,
and we'll come back to that after we meet on September 1st.
okay, perfect.
Moving on to number 5, the calendar committee, that is Doug Law and Angie Johnston.
Okay, you guys still good with that?
I am, but again, if somebody really wants to do it, I'm not opposed to letting somebody else do it.
Well, I'm good.
That's fine. I mean, I don't care about being on, I'm just wondering what else. Yeah, my computer's not.
Here comes the next one.
Here comes another one.
Here comes the next one.
Getting off of that one if somebody else wanted to do buildings and grounds.
Oh,
So I was like,
Oh,
if somebody,
cause yeah, the next one is buildings and ground with, Doug, Amy and Daryl.
I mean, I'm happy to do it, but again, if somebody else would rather do that. I mean,
I would be willing to jump on your legs if you're on.
okay.
So Brent, Daryl and Doug on buildings and grounds now.
Okay.
Got that?
Are we still sticking with calendar committee, Angie and
Angie
Doug?
and Doug.
I don't care.
I'm fine being on it. Last year I didn't get the invite, but.
Doug,
No,
It wasn't, it was Josh, but it's fine. So,
okay.
but Amy, if you want to do it, you're welcome.
Amy, do you want to?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I could do it. It's not a big deal. I don't.
Theoretically, all three of us could do it. We can be, you can have three.
It's not that exciting to me around calendar.
No, it is not. It's nice. It is not.
It's a one.
Doug knows what he's doing on that.
It's just Doug and Angie?
Yeah.
On calendar? Amy, you want me to add you?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
They've done a great job.
Okay. Okay. So our calendar will remain the same with Doug and Angie, and then we have buildings and grounds, that will be Doug, Brent, and Daryl.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to sub bond committee, we have Angie and Doug.
The broke record.
Yeah, Angie and Doug. Did you guys have a job or something? Good grief.
Listen. I don't wanna go
We
off bond
appreciate
now,
it.
but if someone, cause Susan used to be on it, so if somebody else wants to come on, you're welcome to come on, we
Because we
really
have-
are
I
towards,
think
we are towards the beginning of the high.
Yeah.
I mean, phase one's going out, so we are at the beginning of, Ewald and the high school, so if somebody else wants to jump on, I think that's
An
great.
additional, we can have an
Yeah, we can have
additional.
additional, I would like to stay.
Yeah, and I would like you to stay on as well as, because you guys have been there.
Where the tennis courts go, I think she should go off.
Well, okay, does somebody want to go on with Angie and Doug, or are we all good?
Brent, did you want
I did not.
No.
to? Did you want to go on, Daryl?
I just.
They are during the day.
Yeah, they're during the day.
We meet in the afternoon at 1:30.
I have
Nobody?
change gravity day.
Okay, this the two of us.
That's how top of my priority.
All right, moving on.
All right.
Tennis court.
We got that done. Tennis court committee does not exist. Yeah.
All right, for district highlights, I know that up above in the very beginning, we have, recognitions and things like that, and I think that's wonderful, but I also strongly feel that each board meeting, I need to be able to tell you what the highlights are that are going on around the district. And
Right.
one of the ways is obviously getting into the buildings, talking with principals, but seeing it in action. So I've started that here. So here's some district highlights that I have right now. I mean, I know we're just kind of getting started, but the car show, thank you for supporting the car show. I thought that was just a great way to become part of the community. We did not have a parking space, although but we had a beautiful space
Mhm.
right up, on that building right by Williamson's plumbing. So thank you to, Carrie and Doug and all of you for getting that put together. So, I did not,
Melanie.
and Melanie.
Thank you. Most especially Melanie. And Melanie's husband got, what do they call it, voluntold, that he was gonna participate, and he did.
Our tent was in a prime location,
Yeah.
so, although I did not have a hot rod, but
That's all right.
It
We
was
made
actually
a
great.
bitty hot
It
rod.
was so great. There's,
The hot rod, you'll know where she got the money.
That's right.
so we had little toy cars, fans, colored pages. It was really neat.
Yeah, Melanie got us the hookup. She did good for all those kids that came by.
Lots of good.
Meet a lot of people. Did a lot of.
I thought we had quite a few people come, and it was
And she
Very
jumped out
nice.
there and grabbed people that came by, and she was like, I'm the new superintendent. Nice to meet you. Yep.
that.
I know.
Gary stayed the whole time and Melanie, they were putting tattoos on people. I came at the very end and then I was like, oh gosh, I guess I should have came earlier now. I'm sorry.
It
You
was
guys
fun.
did great. It was wonderful.
We had a lot of fun.
Melanie had ordered, me a t-shirt, a
That's right.
special t-shirt, and all the flags that went around, so, and blew up the poster and put that up, so everybody.
Oh,
knew.
yeah, she made some little AI coloring pages that had her as a little hot rod chick sitting on top of a car. They were so cute.
I do have some if you'd like.
We'd like to see it, yeah.
I felt like Rizzo off of Grease for a minute. Anyway, kind of cute.
It was,
Okay,
it was good.
it was fun. Anyway, we also decided that we were going to go into the car show, so Carrie and I, we started.
We
Down-
walked all
down
the
the
way
way,
down
yeah.
State Street. We went down to the playground area and we handed out little cards to all the kids down there.
And I went up
And
and
then we walked all the way
introduced myself
back.
to
Yeah.
everyone, and yeah, it was really great. So thank you very much.
Well, it was a much cooler night than most of the years.
It was.
It wasn't bad.
And then it was great to meet all of our new educators, new to Augusta, so that was wonderful. Janet did a great job of getting that together and, really having beneficial time with them. Our partners, like she mentioned earlier, Janet mentioned earlier about our banks and just our community partners were amazing, and it was great to meet them. And so some of them, that was the first time that I did meet them, because it's just been trying to get my head above water, but it was great to meet them. We have just great community partners, as you all already know. So before that though, I put in Friday notes, but the band exhibition was awesome. They had band camp the week before the car show, and I was supposed to be on the baseball field at 10 o'clock for a meeting with the turf people there, and I got an email to join them join the band and to come and meet them and the parents, and so that was fantastic. The kids were amazing. They played amazing, and then they were just great. They were so enthusiastic to see the superintendent. So that was really great to see kids in action and to meet them. And then this past Friday was the district welcome back for all staff, and that was incredible. So it was a great breakfast from 7 to 8, and then I welcomed them back. We had, again, a lot of our partners were speaking, ADA, USI, New Broker, We had a video from Bright Futures. Our sponsor for the breakfast, Bob Pilcher with Legal Shield. And then I set the expectations. I let them know what the expectations are and what, let them know a little bit about me. Doug and Angie were in attendance. So again, I've actually, yeah, it was raining.
Really.
I wondered why everybody I've talked to said, yeah, we were wet.
Oh, it poured.
Yeah, Lord.
It was, yeah.
It was just a great, and we ended with celebrations. So we celebrated those with 30 years of service, 20 years of service, 10 years of service, and then our teachers of the year for elementary and secondary. So it was just a great way to kick off the school year, and I felt very proud and blessed to be there and do that. So moving on. So tomorrow night are the open houses across the district. So I'm planning, and Dr. Dowd and I will be planning to be at different buildings and meet people there. So that'll be great to be out and about.
Elementary's 5, middle school 6, high school 7. Is that what I read?
Those are the highlights that I have for you
5,
tonight.
6, and 7, I wonder.
Then moving to the board goal setting retreat expectations. So when we meet on August 19th, from I believe 5 to 7, I'll be bringing just the vision and the goals of what I've spoken with principals and directors about. When I met with them at the end of July, we talked a lot about vision and goals. I also spoke about the listening sessions that I plan to have throughout the district at each building this first semester, and getting feedback, what our strengths, what our challenges, and what support do they need. And then coming back with that information to the board, obviously, and to help guide our work. For goals for this year for our buildings, academic behavior and culture. And so that's where I really wanted them to focus, is looking at their data, their behavior data, looking at their academic data, assessing their culture. They don't necessarily need 3 goals, but at least if they have at least 1 or 2 goals that they do really, really well, and it aligns with academic behavior culture, then we're headed in the right direction. And then in the summer of 2027, so June of 2027, having a retreat with them to see how they did with their building goals. Taking the information from the listening sessions, taking information from other data that we get from our academics, and as well as behavior, then really formulating goals moving into next school year for district goals, which then are building goals, classroom goals, and student goals. We talked about strategic plan development. So starting in July and August of 2027, then being here for a whole year, having all this data, then really starting to develop a strategic plan with implementation then the school year of 28-29. I really want it to be developed well. So I'm not rushing to develop it really well, 27-28, with implementation 28-29. Then that will help us as a district and board to align all of our decision-making with our strategic plan. And so when we ask questions about budget or spending or curriculum adoptions or curriculum behavior interventions, does it align? We can always go back to the strategic plan. Does it align with our strategic plan? If it does not, then we don't need to do it. It all needs to come back to that. So that is the vision and the expectations for what I wanted to share with you this evening, and where you can expect August 19th to go.
And you are planning on running that meeting, correct? So we're not having anybody outside coming in, and we're also not having our admin staff here, correct? So it's just gonna be us this year, and Leslie Ann's
Right.
gonna move us in the direction that we need to go.
I would also appreciate leaving the sticky notes out of it, but that's just me.
Maybe index cards.
Should have plenty of sticky notes.
I also solicited feedback from the principals in that July meeting about, you know, being here, not being here, and I feel like us moving forward with it, just being the board and Dr. Dowd and I is the right direction to go at this time.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, they don't, you know, it's hard to talk in front of us as much as we try to encourage it. You know, we're still the board, whether we want to be or not, so.
One of the things we talked about, I think at the last board meeting, we talked about, I think at the last board meeting was what that structure will be to really know where we've been. So really starting with that first hour of what do we want to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing as a district, and then moving into that second hour of actually, okay, so how are we going to do this?
What are we gonna
And
do?
really focusing on a couple of 2 to 3 goals that we can do really, really well. Board goals have really align with the expectations of the superintendent. And so what our board goals are is what I would think that you would expect of me and what the outcomes from me should be. Of course, the district as well, but.
Okay. Everybody on board with that?
Absolutely.
I think it sounds great. Okay. Is that all you have for us tonight? Okay, so we have, for just reminders, we're gonna be here for next week on Wednesday, 5 o'clock, and, Melanie is gonna provide Chipotle.
Excellent.
I guess we don't have to order anything for that, right? You just bring all the stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so you don't need to know what anybody wants.
No,
Okay.
it'll be a build your own.
Okay, so that's 5 o'clock, and then the R&R meeting actually will be right, same time with the board meeting and the regular budget, all of that on the 14th. Also now adding into there on the 1st. So we can get a reminder about that again later. Okay, Amy, you have anything else?
I had a great first couple of days of school this week.
Okay, Carol? No? Brent? Angie?
I have 2 things.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about the new principals. They all seem really energetic and really excited, and I'm excited to see where that goes. The Bright Futures event, back to school event, was our first year doing it, and it was very, very successful. And thank you to Leslie Ann for being there and dragging her sister along. And it was a busy weekend because she had the car show on Saturday, and then she came the whole time on Sunday too. So I know she was exhausted. But it was a great turnout, and I think people were really excited, and the kids were really excited to get all their new stuff, and the churches and community that the Baptist church provided new shoes to 200 kids.
Wow.
And socks, yes, and then,
That's incredible.
some other churches did socks and underwear. The cotton candy machine was delicious.
Was this when they
I
did
mean,
the haircut?
there were so many things.
Yeah, the haircut.
Yeah, they did
Was that the
haircuts.
first time they've done
It's the
it?
first time we've ever done that.
That's
They've,
what I thought.
Methodist Church has always coordinated backpacks, but,
First time to.
It was- and we've been talking about it as a board, getting it done for probably 3 to 4 years. And Tony did a good job of actually getting it off the ground and done, and Beth and a whole bunch of people. But anyway, it was really good.
But you had so many involved. I think that's.
It was really, really great. And it was nice to have it at Robinson, so.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah, crammed up.
That's it? Okay, Jim?
It was nice and exciting to see where we're at with the buildings. It's really gonna make a huge difference with the students. When you look at those band rooms compared to what we've had, it just kind of blows your mind.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be an exciting thing to continue to watch, especially as the high school starts to transform.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the high schools. How it turns out.
Yep.
Okay. That,
I just feel a new level of enthusiasm and excitement district-wide, and I think that's welcome and appreciated.
and catching. Yeah, yeah, we appreciate your energy.
Thank you.
Very much, very much. Okay, I need a motion to leave, Doug.
I'll
make a
do that.
motion to-
Lead Doug? No, I make the motion to adjourn. You just said it.
All in favor? All right. Are you gonna turn us off? Please.